Hello, I'm Trudy, One Grounded Angel, and this is my weekly angel card reading for the week November the 21st through to the 25th, 2016. So we'll start with Monday the 21st. I'll start shuffling and we'll see what messages the angels have for us this week. Okay. Prosperity, love it. Instantly I think of money. How good is that? And actually, from what you can see in this card, the angel here is holding a shell full of gold. I don't know if it's supposed to symbolize the cornucopia kind of image of abundance and being fed by nutrients, because prosperity and abundance also are about our material needs, such as food. It's not just money, and shelter obviously as well. So this is really highlighting our material needs and making sure that we know that we're provided for by the universe. We tend to think that all our money comes from our employer, but actually our employer is just the channel, or our clients if you're self-employed like myself. And actually, the source is the universe. The universe is providing for us. So, and it can provide for us in through a number of different channels. So don't just look to your salary and go, I'm not earning enough money, I need to change jobs. And you may need to change jobs because you're not happy, but don't let money be the only reason, because that's not the only way that you receive money from the universe. So this is assuring us that everything we need is coming through for us. We're provided for. Don't be scared that you'll never have enough, because when you fear that you're going to lack something, that lack kind of energy creates a block and it stops you from receiving more abundance. And this card also reminds us that if we want to improve the flow of money and prosperity into our lives, that we can work on that with some manifestation. Now, if you are just chronically losing money, like you come into money and it just goes again, I don't just mean through spending, I mean through all these unfortunate things that keep happening. And maybe that you've got a block in your base chakra, which is the chakra or the energy center associated with our material needs. So you could look at Reiki to clear that, or you could look at doing a meditation for base chakra. But for most of us, it's just the general kind of, our issues with money are just the general kind of struggling with the cost of living and just generally life. So it may not be necessarily an energetic block if this is an issue for you. I'm just raising that for those of you who that is an issue, and it will resonate with you if that's the case. Trust your intuition. But you can manifest more money by working on affirmations. I've got in my daily meditation ritual, I say various things like I'm provided for by the universe. I open my arms to the flow of abundance. Things like that can really help. So, and you can work on those affirmations constantly. So let's look at Tuesday the 22nd. It's quite fitting this time of year when we start to panic about the cost of Christmas and summer holidays and things. And I know if you're like me, self-employed, you'll be worried about, or maybe not worried, but conscious of the fact that you won't be earning any money over the Christmas period, which is always quiet, or depending on your industry, I suppose. So looking at Tuesday. So worrying doesn't help. It's really the underlying message of that money card. Always welcome, always happy to receive a good message about money. Tuesday. Solar plexus chakra. Now, I already talked about the base chakra. This is the third chakra, the solar plexus. It's associated with power and control. Now, if you're the sort of person who's trying to control other people, if you're trying to have too much control over your own life, this will resonate for you. And it's also power issues, people who try to use the power in ways that are manipulative or impinge on other people's rights. So because in a spiritual sense, power is actually a good thing. We tend to think of power as the type that corrupts, but actually in a spiritual sense it's not. That's just when it's used incorrectly. Power is what motivates us. It's our fuel. So solar plexus chakra is just below, it's sort of above the navel. So well, you probably know what the solar plexus is, but that's where the chakra is. And if you think about that saying, fire in the belly, and that's kind of the motivation when we're all fired up, that's very much associated with this chakra. So there's a couple of different things going on here. It's kind of propelling us forward, empowering us, and we had a lot of empowering messages last week. And this is on that same theme, encouraging us to not give our power away to other people. Recognize we've got the power to change our circumstances and to really own that, make our own choices, and not feel sorry for ourselves. And it's also about making sure that for some of you, you might be I spoke just before about control. Some of you, that may be an issue. When we try to control other people, tell them what to do, maybe give them not so subtle cues about how their behaviour might be wrong in our eyes. This is a reminder for you to pull back, because you don't have the right to tell other people how they should behave, and actually you don't need to, because when we're trying to do that, it's usually out of a place of fear. It's because we feel that we're going to lose them, or that sometimes it's about wanting other people to behave in the way that we behave to affirm our own choices, and that's just so not necessary. So try to address any issues with power and control that you might have today, and be aware of how those show up in your daily life, particularly in your relationships with other people and in the workplace, I would say, in particular. So yeah, there's a lot of different things there, but just remember that you've got the power, and you don't need to concern yourself with what other choices other people are making. What other people believe and how they behave is none of your business, except of course if that involves them treating you badly. If it affects you in an adverse way, then obviously you need to stick up for yourself and do something about that. Move yourself in the situation. Wednesday, gosh, they're giving me some complicated ones this week, aren't they? 23rd, Wednesday, what have we got here? Maybe something nice, practical, to counter what we've just had. Oh no, energy work. Thanks guys. So energy work, I spoke about Reiki. That's a form of energy healing. Acupuncture. What else? Gosh, I'm struggling to think. Body work. Those are all forms of energy healing, and some of you need to be pursuing a career in that. If you've been thinking about those sorts of things, training in those, this is confirmation you should go with that. Some of you just need it to clear out some of the bad energy around you. If you're feeling constantly tired, and not just as a result of the fact that it's the end of the year and we are all tired, if you're feeling like really drained and in a way that's not really about your physical energy, it may be that your aura needs a clean out because you're carrying bad energy, negative energy, a lot of fear. So I would recommend some energy healing could be good for you, but not all of you are going to need that. So you could look at just how to purify your energy by being aware of whether you're taking on other people's moods. This also came up last week. Being aware of how you're being influenced by other people's energy. So, and just trying to take ownership of your own energy and not being influenced by other people. So I would say there's a couple of different levels to that one really, and you need to pick where you're going to go in with that as to what is right for you. But really at its most basic level, it is just for you to be aware of what's going on in your energy field, because that does have an impact particularly on your emotions, but also your physical energy and the way you approach the world and your relationships. So looking to Thursday the 24th now. I just realised this is a really weird camera angle I've got going on here. I'm just going to adjust that. Okay, 24th November, here we go. Family harmony. How interesting. I've been talking about relationships a lot. Didn't really address family relationships, but that's come up here. When this card comes up in a personal reading I'm doing for a client, it's usually because they've got a very specific family conflict going on, or a source of tension in their family. And let's face it, that's the nature of families. There are often underlying tensions going on. So what this is saying is that it's an opportunity for you to work on alleviating that disharmony, I should say. Now, if you can't fix what's going on, you can always fix the way you think about it. So try and work on letting go of what you're so worried about, or what you're so angry about in particular. I would also say that it's an opportunity, if your family is perfectly in harmony, it's an opportunity for you to look at the way that you are interacting with your family and making sure that you are spending quality time with them. Very difficult this time of year. We've got a lot going on, but make sure that you're doing what you can to stay in touch with people, and if that's the issue for you, someone will pop into your head from your family that you need to call or get in touch with. So trust your intuition there as well. Now, for a lot of you, when there's family disharmony, it goes all the way back to childhood. It's deep and it's really thorny. And this is not saying to just forget about that and get over it. which I would never suggest to anyone in an emotional state. You're perfectly entitled to your emotions and how you feel about the situation. What I would say is to be aware that if it is long running, there are probably a lot of contributing factors, and maybe that's just not going to go away, and you need to make peace with that and just change the way you respond to it. Very difficult, and it's going to depend so much on your circumstances as to what that card means to you. But just look at the ways you can, if you can't alleviate the tension, you can alleviate the way you feel about it. Now, as I said, you're entitled to your emotions and you don't have to change them, but if those emotions are causing you stress, there might be an opportunity for you to work on releasing somewhere. And there are forgiveness meditations you can do that might help. Remember, when we talk about forgiving in a spiritual sense, it doesn't mean that the other person was right, because maybe how they are treating you is very bad. What it means is just letting go of the resentment around it. You're not saying that the way they're treating you or have treated you is right. You're just saying that you are choosing to let go of your resentment about it and instead welcome in peace. So looking to Friday, it's the 25th of November. Divine guidance. This is sort of the message that underpins every angel message you could ever receive, actually. It's the angels saying, we're here for you and we're helping you. Keep talking to us, remembering, I know I say this all the time, but I have to keep repeating it because we forget, I forget. The angels cannot help unless you ask them to, because you have divine will over your own life. They can't intervene unless your life is in mortal danger and it's not your time to pass yet. They will intervene. However, this is really just about the day-to-day stuff. Ask the angels for help and be open to how it comes to you. It's also a very comforting message, letting you know that you are being guided. If you're facing a decision in particular, you need to ask the angels for help with that, because they will guide you into the right path. So it's kind of about tuning into your intuition, feeling loved and feeling supported and held by the universe, knowing that you're not alone and you've got your angel squad with you. I love talking about them as an angel squad. And also remembering to tune in and keep those lines of communication open. So it also reminds us that when things seem like they're crazy and chaotic and it seems like there's no sense going on, there is a plan. We can't see it yet. We can only ever see this much of the picture. The angels can see all of it, and they're telling you it's going to be okay. So everything is happening as it's meant to happen, even the shitty stuff. I don't know why, but that we just need to trust that it's going to work out. So we've got a variety looking back over the week. We've got messages about money and financial security. We've got empowerment and messages about control, energy work, managing our energy field, family harmony, and divine guidance. Real mixed bag, but that's just the way it's meant to be. There's a lot of intense energies around at the moment, and it is the time of year, as I've mentioned already multiple times. Obviously, I'm feeling quite run down already myself. Must be, why do I keep talking about it otherwise? And it is a time where we're more likely to be emotional because we are slightly run down, and we're just sort of going through a process of reviewing the year. Even if we're not consciously doing that, at the back of our minds we're thinking about the year and starting to think about where we want to be going. Have we achieved what we want to achieve? And that can all sort of weigh on our minds a lot, even if it's not in the forefront. So that's it really for the week. I will post each of these, as I mentioned, on social media. My website is www.onegroundedangel.com. If you have any questions or you want to give feedback, you can find contact details for me there, and also on my Instagram you can contact me there as well, and of course my Facebook. Thank you so much for your love and support. I wish you a wonderful week, and I look forward to reading for you again in a week's time. Take care, everyone.